Yesterday, the whole world informed of the deaths of the Bishop of Rome and Pontiff of the Catholic Church, the Pope Francis. Who died in the morning of Monday, Easter Monday. It's yesterday. Now, you know that the Pope's position in the world is very significant. As leader of the Roman Catholic Church, that means a lot in the world.
Pastor Chris has spoken out concerning the death of Pope Francis, and he forgot to make mention of some important African cardinals who have been in this cardinal position for a long time, and several Europeans have come and have been elected as Pope. I'm not against any form of election, but I'm looking at the fact that most of these Europeans who are championing the cause of who becomes Pope in the world have actually not had a good eyes to see any black man occupy that position, has actually not have them in good record. So Cardinal Arinze has been there for a long time as a cardinal. He is 92 as we speak. And we still have other young guys who is coming up, like Okbaleki, who is also following the footsteps of Cardinal Arinze. Unfortunately, Africa is at this quagmire. The Roman Catholic Church, as we know today, in Nigeria and Africa, let me speak for Nigeria, has been taken wholeheartedly as the religion or the belief of a good populations of Christians in Nigeria. And they've been obedient to the central power. But unfortunately, the Europeans, the Germans, the France, the British, they've not had the black man on a good note. They've not seen the black man as a leader. Therefore, they've not been a time where a black man has been elected. And that is quite unfortunate. I admire the speech of our Reverend Chris, because he touched on some certain things, but he forgot that there is also a need to make an input concerning why African cardinals have been neglected when it comes to the issue of Pope, because people across the world will hear his voice. He commands a lot of followers. He also rightly said that the Catholic Church, the Pope, was found into some endorsement of the things of the world, which he, as a person, did not approve. I will continue this discussion as we play this video further.
Then consider also that for the most part, whatever he said was taken seriously, especially because he was deemed to be speaking in the name of the Lord. Of course, in several instances, especially Pope Francis, in several instances, some of the things that he said were completely off course. They were not things that were consistent with God's will. And I remember in 2020 and parts of 2021, I did refer to some of the wrong steps that he and the globalists took, because he was on the side of the globalists at that time. But somewhere along the line, Pope Francis did make a detour. He actually had what you would almost call a turnaround, because he stopped fueling the globalists and took steps against the direction in which they were going. And I was personally very grateful for that, because that really helped our cause. And
of course, you know that the cardinals very soon will be going to the conclave to elect who becomes the next pope. And that election will involve cardinals that are 80 years and above. After the pope is elected, white smoke comes out from the conclave, showing that the pope has been elected. But if it is black smoke, it means they've not been a successful election of a pope, because they need to third of the quorum that gathered for that conclave. Now, why is it that is when the black smoke comes out, it means there's no election? Is that also saying that the black man would not be pope forever? What is the idea behind having a black smoke, white smoke, as against black smoke as a success for the election of the pope?
In the last maybe 1 year or more, he was actually more supportive of our cause than he had been at the beginning. So for that, he will be really missed. He will be really missed, because he had become a force for good in the world. Some of the things that I actually brought out, which some of the things I put on the screen, some of the decisions that he had made that were just not okay, he had actually stopped working on them. He actually put a freeze on them, which was beautiful. See? And that was amazing to the globalists, because they didn't expect someone like the Pope to have a turnaround, but he did. Apparently, God was guiding him. So now that he's passed, we understand that in about 2 weeks or so, the cardinals are going to be having their conclave, during which they will be electing a new pope. I remember the position of a pope in the Catholic Church is very, very important. So we're going to have to pray specially that God will guide them to bring in a pope that in the next few years we should be having a real revival of the gospel and the truth in the Catholic Church. It is very important that many around the world who are in the Catholic Church get to know the truth of God's word. And it will take a pope who knows it to be able to transmit it. So we have to really pray that the next leader of the Roman Catholic Church will be someone who truly knows the Lord. That is very important to all of us. Very, very important. We have to pray. You can imagine that those on the leftists, elitists, psychopathic, globalists side would definitely be thinking how to get in on the game.